So, Tectone made a video about his thoughts on the Mizkif lawsuit, so we're just gonna watch that real quick.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Been a while, and
It's me. It's your boy Asmongold. Wait, I mean, Tectone.
I was hoping to keep it that way. I've really enjoyed the past 9 days. Not been thinking about content creation in the space pretty much whatsoever, besides a couple of memes here and there, while really, meditating and trying to better myself every single day with my diet. Sorry, I got a doggy door, and I think one of the cats is trying to crawl through it right now. It's really funny.
Fuck, dude, my hiccups are back. This is the worst timing for this in the entire planet.
Yeah, I'm down 16 pounds so far. What sucks is my
Oh my god, it's not gonna go away.
lifts are taking a hit, which is a shame. I used to be able to do 225 for 12 reps, and now I'm doing it for about 10, which is scaring me. But I also went wider grips, so it's probably nothing to worry about. But enough about what I've been doing. Oh, final thing. On the final fight of Metaphor Fantasio, I'm going to 100% complete the game. True ending. I've done everything, and I have been
I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what that is. But go off, I guess.
playing a lot of Riftbound, which has been taking all of my attention right now. It's a great new card game that Riot just came out with, and I've been hitting a lot of locals and meeting a lot of people, and the people of San Antonio are very kind. I've only met one bitch so far because he was a fucking jackass and he backseated the guy playing against Sophia, and Sophia was gonna win her first tournament, but fucking whatever, who cares? Just being human stuff. Mizkif.
Yeah.
Yep, we're back here again. Only this time with two
Again, and again. I'm sick of it. Like, I don't know how he keeps digging himself a deeper hole.
funny additions. We got Asmongold and Emerald. Yes, Mizkif is suing Asmon and Emerald for defamation and damage.
Stupid. Also,
Oh, Your Highness, I'm sure it's not that noticeable. Bald! Bald! Bald!
All right.
sorry, I just had to get that out of the way real quick.
And I'm gonna be real. This is gonna be the shortest video ever because there's nothing really else to say besides the fact that Miz, you went live on camera and you admitted that Emmy was right about everything that she did. Also,
Yeah.
side note, how come
He literally did. There was just one thing that he didn't say that was correct. Or that there was one thing that he said that she said that wasn't correct.
I'm not getting sued? How come I'm not involved in this? How am I supposed to make this about me now?
Yeah.
What's going on, guys? It's a shame.
Yeah, like what the fuck? How's it supposed to be about him, bro? You can't just leave him out like this. This is crazy. They've gone too far. This is madness.
Oh, yeah, he's also selling OTK and Mythic Talent, which I'm going to get into that later. But Miz, you went live on camera, frame 1 to respond. Well, that's not true. More like frame 42. You had to wait 41 frames because you wanted to make sure Asmongold was offline because you know if Asmon live reacted, your ass would have been cooked harder than it already was.
Yeah.
However, I don't think
Immediately.
I've seen anybody do more damage to themselves than what Miz did voluntarily. I mean, to be honest, I'm surprised the defamation and damage lawsuit isn't against himself. Like, am I crazy?
Yeah.
I mean,
He's right. It really should have been. Bro is actively harming his own reputation. He didn't even really need Emeru to do that for him. He's already done it plenty of times on his own.
Miz, you went live and you said that there was abuse on both sides, and then you claimed that Emmy hitting you with plushies was abuse, and you punched holes in walls and you broke things in aggression. Are you not understanding the difference here? I understand a lot of people on Twitter fall for the middle ground fallacy, which is, well, we're both in the wrong. He stubbed my toe, so I nuked Japan. we both did things are bad, so we're both bad. But unfortunately, people with an IQ above room temperature will understand these fallacies and they will see past them. Well, unless you're a Hassan viewer, in which case you're cooked.
Yeah.
This is very embarrassing.
Well, we already knew that because that's public knowledge. It's not that insane.
This is insane, dude.
Because what little chance you had to come back as a streamer, I mean, you will be known as a joke for the rest of your life. There will be no vindication from this. I mean, I don't know if your strategy was to outspend Asmongold and Emerwin Court, which doesn't really work to begin with unless you're like a giant corporation going against like a civilian. But I mean, Asmongold has more money than pretty much all of OTK combined, because Asmongold hasn't spent any of the money he's earned for like the past 10 years. I mean, he just buys Dr. Pepper and gummy worms and beef jerky, and the only money he's ever spent is probably covering medical bills for his since deceased father and mother. I understand why you're doing this. Sorry, I'm gonna sneeze. I can't cut that out. My editor's on vacation. I don't want to bother him.
Remember how like everyone was saying that rich people can never lose lawsuits because they have too much money? What happens if you have Mizkif, who's, I mean, probably rich, but Asmongold is way more rich, but they both have money. They're both rich in a certain sense. So, like, what happens there? Is it a stalemate? Does this lawsuit go on forever?
To edit these videos, so I'm doing all this shit myself. That's why it's so fucking scuffed, but I appreciate you guys watching anyways. I understand why you're doing this, Miz, and you're not doing this because you're in the right. You're doing this because you're small, you're petty, you're afraid, and you're lashing out the only way you think that you can. And it's embarrassing. It really is. And it's a shame, because as the most egotistical person I've ever met, you'd think you'd have some pride left, but you don't. You're just a small, small man, and everything that comes out, the hair transplant, the steroids, the begging streamers to collab and then calling them a leech is just for optics. Mizkif, everything you do is to inflate your already overinflated ego to make up for your lack of self-worth because you have none. And I think this really goes to show just how embarrassing this entire situation is. And honestly, I do think you should be ashamed of what you're doing right now. You will not win. This will not end in your favor, and you are completely fucking yourself. I'd say something to Emmy and Asmon, but I'm sure they're fine. I guarantee you they don't give a fuck, because this is the most embarrassing lawsuit I've ever seen. Kind of want to talk about OTK for a little bit. In case you guys don't know, I've been gone from OTK for over a year now. I was a part of it for 3 years. And, outside of the things I had to do with Mizkif, I enjoyed it quite a bit. Camp Canute 1 was fine. Camp Canute 2 was a joke, and I don't need any credit for. Tectone always knew there was something wrong. I had insider knowledge that people didn't know. It is what it is. Does Camp Canute Season 2 make more sense now? When you watch it and you see how in disgust I was, how non-cooperative I was with the gay-ass ideas, do you get it now? Hopefully that makes sense. I see this comment.
Where is he going with this? I don't understand what that had to do with what he's saying.
A lot of Mizkif carried OTK for its beginner years, and this will be something that you can get mad at me for. But yes, Mizkif did carry the beginning of OTK. He did. And do you want to know why that is? That's because anytime OTK had a good idea, he would say, "Oh, I get it. That's mine. And if I don't get it, I'm going to throw a hissy fit. And then I'm going to spam you with DMs. And then I'm going to berate you. And then I'm going to bitch and moan and complain." And then the other streamers would just say, "All right, go ahead, Miz, have another one." You don't think we could have just ran those events on Asmon's channel? You don't think we could have just ran those events?
So what we're saying is that we didn't do anything to stop this behavior. Like, I'm not saying that they did a bad job, but they kind of did a bad job if this is the case. Like, why didn't you just stop this behavior? And if he's not willing to change his fucking actions and how he talks and interacts with people, he shouldn't be part of the group. But this is the problem, is because they were all friends, they were all buddy, and they weren't gonna, like, they weren't going to do anything to each other unless it came down to business, which it eventually did with all the drama in OTK in 2022. Man. So it sounds like he should have just been out way earlier.
On fucking Soda's channel or NMP's or Schlatt's or Bruce's. No, I mean, look at Game Day. It literally pulled the same numbers as any other event, if not better. It's just.
What did they even allow Bruce to do in OTK? I remember Bruce being announced, and then I remember seeing him on Mizkif's stream once or twice. And then I never saw him in anything in OTK ever again. Same thing with Will. Like, I never see Will do anything with OTK.
Miz was the guy who was bitching the most to have every event run on his channel, and if there was ever a good idea, he would just take it. It's not hard to quote unquote carry OTK when you're the guy who's bitching and moaning and whining and complaining and crying if you don't get it your way. And I don't understand how people don't get that yet. What he did is not an accomplishment. What he did was success that was given to him. And I want to make this very clear. And I want to remind you with proof. You can go back and check the VODs. Camp Canute Season 2 was supposed to be on everybody's channel.
I don't doubt that.
30 days of the 31 days were on Miz's channel. 1 day was on Will Neff's. Because Miz really needed the viewers. And anytime anybody ever needed to do anything else, what's the point, dude? What's the point? I'll get more viewers on my channel. While he's like botting like tens of thousands of viewers.
Yeah.
Jesus, not to mention what I heard of the OTK intervention where like everybody had to tell Miz to stop view botting. That's just what I heard. I wasn't a part of OTK when this happened. That's just what I heard. Obviously, I have to say that. But I'm sure there's probably someone who's watching this or heard of this on a clip that could probably confirm what I'm saying, or I'm okay if I'm wrong as well. But I heard it from 3 different people. But anyways, OTK was something that should have succeeded and failed dramatically.
Yeah.
And I want to make sure
it really should have succeeded. Like, that's the crazy part, is how much shit has happened to this organization. Partially their fault and partially just shit comes up from some other people about a single member and then it affects the group. That's why I am hesitant to ever even want to get into the business of making a streamer organization. Because I've seen how many of them have failed. But, like, it looks like so much fun. That's the problem. Is I think it'd be a cool experience to have, but like, if it comes to the detriment of I do something wrong or a member of my potential group does something wrong, it affects everybody. That's the thing. That's why sometimes these things are just not good ideas. Like, they might be good at ideas at the time, and they might work out for a couple years. But eventually, it's all going to crumble down. We've seen it with FaZe.
Known that it is by one thing and one thing only.
Multiple times.
It was destroyed by ego. It wasn't destroyed from the scandals. It wasn't destroyed
just
by the
kick them? Yeah, exactly.
Which Rich beat his.
But that's what he's saying, is that they didn't get rid of Mizkif when they all knew that he was a problem. That's like why did they not do that? And I know exactly why they didn't do that. It's because he had the most viewers. He had the most viewers, the most loyal viewers, and the most consistent viewership. Even if now we're finding out that most of them probably weren't real, but that's besides the point. Clout, I guess? Yeah, pretty much.
That guy. I heard there's another guy who's going to beat his as well. Not sure who that guy is, but pretty sure he's going to beat his. But yeah, the only thing that destroyed that org was ego. That's it. Nobody wanted to do anything for anybody unless there was something in it for them or if it was convenient. And that is the truth. Now, I do want to say, there were some exceptions to that rule. Mizkif was not an exception to that rule. I mean, dear God. Seer was an amazing part of OTK, is an amazing part of OTK, a very selfless individual, would help anybody at any time for anything. W's to that guy. And hey, whether you like him or whether you hate him, and I see a lot of people who say I hate NMP now. I don't hate NMP at all. I think he's done some gay shit, but I don't care. If I were to see him, I would dap him up.
I think it's so funny that he uses the word gay for stupid or dumb or brain dead, and it's like, I thought that's how we talked like 10 years ago. When did that come back? Like, I'm not saying it's good or bad, but like, when did that come back? When did we start using gay for stupid again?
Yeah, NMP was also an amazing help, and to be honest, OTK should have been built around NMP. I think that's literally the biggest mistake of the entire org, because NMP would do pretty much anything for everybody, share the love. I mean, his community was kind of assholes.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. But hey, they were better than Mrs. Community, holy shit. But I do think that if OTK was built around events that happened on Nick's channel or everybody's channel, we would have seen a lot more like crossover, a lot more success.
Well, like, here's the problem is why is the org being built around one or two creators? If they started out with what, 6 people, I think? And eventually they had probably 10 different members over time. Why? It was probably 10 to 12, actually, now that I think about it. If you count Milena, if you count, like, all the people that came in and left, there was a lot of people that were a part of this org at one point or another. Why are you building it around one or two of the, like, owners? Like, I get it, they're owners, and maybe not just members, but it shouldn't be built around a couple people. It should be built around the group as a collective.
Game day made a lot of people's careers. It really did. Yeah. Couldn't have built around Asmon's because Asmon, he needs his sleepy time. He needs to hang out in the nest. That being said, if Asmon was ever needed, he was always there, and he was there on time. Yeah. I mean, shit. Emmy showed up late more often than Asmon. Right? I remember doing steak and eggs. Asmon was there pretty much on time every time, unless, one of his relatives was sick. Hey, credit where credit was due, and I don't think anybody would deny this either. Brother, I did everything for OTK. Everything. Anybody needed me? Got you. Somebody wanted the stream? Have it. Event happens? On time. Meet with the staff? Always respectful. Credit where credit's due. I feel very good about how I operated at OTK. So I know there isn't no part of me where the failure lies on. Absolutely not. I am gonna fucking humor that idea. I'm very proud of how helpful I was in that org. Yeah, that was good. Didn't get too many opportunities, but I think the ones that I did get, I made the most out of. But I will say, for my 3 years of OTK, I never felt.
I don't know who's like technically in OTK anymore. Cause like I don't know if Emaru is. I know at least Sear, Will Neff, Esfand, Asman isn't anymore. Tectone isn't anymore. Mizkif definitely isn't anymore. Bruce isn't. Jay Schlatt isn't. Nick is? Who do they even have anymore? This is crazy to think about. Cause like I haven't like actively watched OTK type content very often recently. Like within the last year or year and a half.
Truly, entirely welcomed because the egos were so high, it was insane. Mainly just Miz. But when you have to go through him for everything, it kind of sucks. And yeah, there's more shit I can talk about Miz too. And he knows that. I know that. Other people know that. But I'm still just not interested in talking about it. It's not the time. May not ever be the time. To be honest, I prefer not talking about it. But who knows? I just think that what is currently transpiring on the internet is so fucking embarrassing. And people just need to, once again, just move on. And no, nobody's afraid of any nukes that Miz has because, one, he most likely doesn't even have any. And two, they're probably
Well,
just.
I would assume he doesn't have any. He said he was gonna go demon time 2 fucking weeks ago. And didn't do anything except for drop a lawsuit. That was it. He said he wasn't quitting streaming. He said he was gonna come back and that it wasn't gonna affect anything. And then he's been gone for the last 2 fucking weeks. I'm just curious to see when, if ever, he actually comes back. Maybe he'll take a like 2-month break like he did the last time he was in a controversy.
Fucking lies. And I suppose he could weaponize lies, but to be honest, I don't think anybody has any idea what the fuck he's talking about and where is this demon time, demon mode that was supposed to fucking come out. It's kind of cringe, not gonna lie.
I kind of miss when Tectone was actively making videos at the computer and like doing live commentary. But he's been gone for like a month or 2 now.
Anyways, streamers are a bunch of children. And I think everybody who is not currently getting out of their house daily should. You should
I
go
have
to the gym.
I have a
Focus on your health. You should really start focusing on what matters, which is starting a family and getting healthy. I'm enjoying spending every second of the day with my beautiful dog Mango and my beautiful girlfriend.
So I do go outside.
Yeah, thank you all so much for watching. And I got some great news, and it's coming sooner than you think. Yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Yeah, I do have a and I touch. What does that sound like when I do that? And I touch. Oh, that sounded bad. That sounded bad. That just sounded like I said, and I touch, and then nothing after that. It was supposed to censor like half of the word, but it censored the whole thing. Okay, hold on. Okay, the censor button on my Go XLR is bad. Anyways, like and subscribe, chat. I'll see y'all later.